So multiple journalists have been murdered in Mexico over the last month. And one story really caught my attention because it involved the dog that belonged to Lourdes Maldonado. She's one of the journalists who was murdered. And it's just so incredibly heartbreaking because the dog doesn't know what's going on and he's just waiting for her. So let's talk about that a little bit. So journalist Rosa Liliana captured a video of the dog looking confused and depressed in the lawn of Maldonado's Tijuana home. We've got a photo of that. Let's go to the photo first, and then we'll take a look at the video. So here's the dog, just wondering where his owner is. And now let's take a quick look at this video.
Ven, Chaco. Ven, papá. Ven.
The loss of their owners. So yeah, John, do you want to jump in real quick?
Yeah, no, it's super sad, and obviously, I'm sure goes without saying, as we just finished talking about, the tragedy is the targeting of journalists, people who fight against corruption, local election officials who don't play ball with the cartels, people who actually try to clean out law enforcement, those sorts of things. Now, layered on top of that as well, when you see an animal like that, it's impossible for me, at least, as someone who owns dogs, not to think, like, obviously humans can do amazing things. We have the mental capacity and emotional capacity to be great creatures, and also far worse than any animal actually is, far more violent.
Yep.
And then you see the dog, and the dog, and then when I see the dog, and I not only think of my own dog, but I also think of all of the friends and family of the individuals who've been killed and have probably been scared for literally years.
Yes.
Probably in many cases have had talks with those individuals, like, is it safe? Should you stay here? Those sorts of things. It's just devastating.
Is it worth it to be a journalist who covers crime and corruption, knowing that if you pursue that, you will have a target on your back, and it's very likely that you're gonna be physically harmed, you could possibly be murdered, as we shared with you all earlier, with 3 journalists being murdered over the last month.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, well, do dogs really know what's going on? That video and this angle to the story reminded me of previous stories we did years and years ago of some natural disasters that happened, let's say an earthquake or something. And you'll see like the dog refusing to leave the grave of his or her owner.
Yeah.
And apparently the American Kennel Club has talked about this, and it's a real thing. It's not unusual for dogs to grieve the loss of a person they've bonded with who is no longer present. While they might not understand the full extent of human absence, dogs do understand the emotional feeling of missing someone who's no longer part of their daily lives. So for everyone who's like, why are people so obsessed with their dogs? It seems like they value their dogs more than like human strangers. It's because there's genuinely an emotional connection.
Yeah.
Like there have been, luckily I've gotten a lot better, but 2016, I started for the first time having anxiety attacks, which is scary, and like you panic, it's literally a panic attack, so you're panicking. And I remember Charlie, who's not an affectionate dog, let's keep it real. He doesn't like to cuddle, he likes to do his own thing. He would jump on the couch and try to immediately like, make me feel better. Oh, come on, you guys.
He can't, oh my God, you're ready to go. First of all, he might not generally be affectionate, but when he's been alone and you get home, I know when I've been dog sitting him, I get home, he literally will climb up my body onto my shoulders. That's mostly anxiety more than love, but yeah, very adorable.
And then we have one more video to share with you, and I apologize for making you watch this, but here's an example out of China.
Come on, DT, let's go. Come on, DT. Come on, let's go. What a good girl. Come on, good girl. Let's go. Come on, DT. Come on, DT.
Come on.
Come on, DT. DT, come on.
DT, you have to leave the cemetery. Come on.
DT, come on, honey. Oh my God. God.
They're the best. They're just the best.
Sad.
It's really, really sad, but
Yeah.
they're the best. That's why we love them.
Can I be a super quick downer just for like 30 more seconds?
Oh, you want to be
Not
a
about this.
downer?
No,
He
not
wants
about
to be a
this.
downer
This
because
is
things have been so
non-dog
cheery.
downer. This is
Go
not
ahead.
downward dog. So look, obviously, as we cited, Mexico, at least in our hemisphere, is the most dangerous place for journalists. But you can find the targeting of journalists all over the world, as well as activists, labor organizers, those sorts of things. And there are many, many, many countries that are worse off than the US. That's the good that we have. But let's also bear in mind that there is a lot of normalized violence against those sorts of people here too. It might not be bullets, spraying a car with bullets, although that happens too. But I mean, look at the people at Standing Rock being brutalized by private security forces, or the coal miners striking, having trucks running into them and those sorts of things. When those peaceful protesters outside of DC in the waning months of the Trump administration, cops gleefully coming in with riot shields and beating the hell out of them.
Yep.
People being black bagged in the city streets and cities throughout America during the social justice protests in the second to last year, the Trump administration. Like, we freak out about that when the cops knock over the protester from Buffalo and crack his skull open, then just keep walking by like it's nothing. Thankfully, there are some people who focus on that in the moment, but if you think about it, there's a lot of those instances going on pretty much all the time against environmental activists, labor organizers here too, and journalists. Normalization of verbal attacks and harassment against them, as well as physical violence too. So we don't want to get as bad as some of these other places, but with the trajectory that our country is on, if we don't take it seriously, that's not out of the question.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.